When I was 29, I gave up drinking. When I was 37, I quietly started again after mulling over the idea of revisiting wine. One night, without any pre-planning, I ordered a glass of Malbec while I was out to dinner with a friend. My throat warmed with an old, familiar pleasure. Oh, you again, and it didn't end later either when I began drinking a glass or two of wine a few nights a week. In the past, I developed a long and complex history with alcohol. I began drinking socially in high school, but my habit took off in college. I didn't drink to relax, I drank to escape. Having struggled with depression since adolescence, I used alcohol as a tool to help shut off the nasty negative self-talk that bombarded me 24/7. My then therapist helped me recognize that self-talk is anxiety and self-loathing. There were plenty of nevers peppered throughout my daily internal monologue. You'll never find a boyfriend, you'll never fit in, you'll never be as pretty smart cool as she is. Having a few shots of Goldschlager, why did we make such disgusting choices in college, offered delectable blips of freedom from the insecurities that had haunted me for so long. Alcohol made me feel intriguing and powerful. I could go to parties without wanting to crumple into a corner and disappear. But the alcohol wasn't expelling my darkness, it was only masking it. My fears were still there beneath the surface, and throughout my 20s they manifested in murkier, more embarrassing behaviors. I'd throw screaming tantrums at boyfriends, hook up with questionable strangers in a sad validation quest, call in sick to work with yet another humiliating hangover, and pick nasty fights with friends. One day, it became too much, so I stopped drinking altogether. When I got sober, my life quieted down. But then, eventually, I felt ready to try that glass of wine at dinner. Findings from the National Epidemiological Survey on Alcohol and Related Conditions, which polled 43,000 Americans between 2001 to 2002, suggest that many people recover from alcohol dependence, and a considerable number of people appear to recover without professional intervention, writes Raul Catano, M. In an analysis of the massive study. That group can be called clinically improved. Stanton Peele, Ph. A psychologist and author who has been studying the phenomenon of natural recovery, overcoming an addiction on one's own, without treatment, for 35 years, tells Self. Peele says natural recovery is actually far more prevalent than you might believe. This phenomenon can be at least partially attributed to simply growing up or maturing out of the behavior. As people grow older, their lives become fuller and their responsibilities broaden. For some, a stricter schedule and shifting priorities make drinking and hangovers less practical. Still, most of what we know about alcoholism and addiction is from the people who show up and identify themselves that way in Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, and in treatment programs. The vast majority of people who outgrow it are hidden from view, Dr. Peel says. You can't ask your doctor for a simple conclusive blood test to diagnose alcoholism or addiction. Alcohol use disorder Australian dollars is defined by the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and alcoholism as problem drinking that becomes severe. An official diagnosis of Australian dollars, per the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM, can be mild, moderate, or severe, depending on the number of symptoms experienced in the past year. Those symptoms include things like drinking more than you anticipate, wanting to cut back, but not being able to, wanting to drink so badly that you can't think of anything else, and continuing to drink despite it causing problems with your family, friends, physical health, or mental health. Most medical establishments subscribe to the brain disease model of addiction, including the National Institute on Drug Abuse, which describes alcoholism as a chronic, relapsing brain disease.